I'm having trouble believing David Benavidez in this fight. I am. I will be honest. I've made that very clear on my TikTok. I made that very clear on my Twitter/X account. I like David Benavidez. He's a great fighter. He's great. He's amazing for the sport of boxing. His mentality and his style, his punch heavy style, is amazing. He's athletic, he's explosive, he's gifted, he's talented. He can move extremely exceptional for his size. Now, my biggest problem with David Benavidez. When Benavidez runs into these guys who are a bit mobile, when he runs into these guys who have a bit more boxing ability, I'm speaking on Caleb Plant, I'm speaking on Demetrius Andrade, I'm speaking on Alexander the Nail Vazdik, and you guys can correct me when I'm wrong, is that the level of flurries are going down. The combination punching is going down. If he's used to throwing 10 punch combinations, he's cutting them down to 3. He's cutting them down to 4, which is fine. Any other fighter. But with David Benavidez, I like Benavidez when he's throwing 6, 7, 8 plus punch combinations. That's when he is stopping guys typically. That's when he's looking at his best. And he was able to stop Demetrius Andrade. And it may sound like a bit of an excuse on my part, but Andrade's a natural middleweight. He's very small for the super middleweight division. He's a bit older and he's still unproven. But with a guy like David Morrell, who seems to be a bit durable, who seems to have a lot of punch power. We're going to speak on that in a second, but especially a guy who has some great feet under him. You know, I think Caleb Plant could move really well, but David Morrell has a lot more dynamic feet. He's able to take more angles. He's also able to circle around the ring. He's able to move in and out of range. I think his feet are a lot more dynamic and versatile than a guy like Caleb Plant, who gave Benavidez some issues. You could sit here and tell me, Jerry, I thought Caleb Plant won the first 5 rounds. And I said, you know what? You're probably right. I haven't watched that fight in a while, but Caleb Plant had a lot of success early due to David Benavidez's lack of activity and, which I want to touch on, his ability to absorb shots on the high guard. Caleb Plant is not known for his power. Demetrius Andrade isn't known for his power. Alexander the Nail Vazdik is somewhat getting off the couch. He's not competitive in that division anymore. And it sounds like I'm making excuses, but I like Benavidez. I do. Trust me, I like Benavidez. But this is how I am kind of seeing the fight right now. Benavidez has a great high guard. Morrell hits hard. Morrell is extremely explosive. Morrell has very creative ways to string together his punches. Morrell is the more dynamic boxer. He's the more versatile boxer. He's the better defensive boxer. And when you lay everything out on the paper, if you strip the names away, that's what I like to do. That's why I had Israel Madrimov competing with Crawford in that fight. When you strip the names away and you put boxer A, boxer B, he excels at this, he excels at that, this is what they've done. It's hard to not go with Morrell. It is really hard not to go with Morrell. Now, Benavidez has the better resume. Morrell resume, little to nothing. No type of stain on his resume, which is understandable. He has about, 11, 12 fights now. But like I said, let's strip away the names. Now, if everything I said so far has been true, Benavidez' level of combination punching takes a major decline when he's fighting guys who are a little bit better in the boxing department, who can move their feet and properly defend themselves. His best offensive weapon, the combination punching, is majorly declined. If we take a look at his high guard, which is great, but it forces him to be inactive. He cannot counter out of his high guard like Canelo. So he's giving up rounds, absorbing these shots from smaller guys. Now he's fighting a guy who's not that small, who can hurt him and who can move out of the way from his, from him initiating his offense. They're not my favorite fighters of all time, but I like both of these guys. They're both great for boxing, in my opinion. I appreciate both of these guys stepping up and taking this fight this early. But with everything I just said, I feel like it's really hard to debunk anything I just said. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Benavidez You know, maybe he's able to absorb these shots. Maybe he is able to tire out David Morrell. But with everything I just said, I think it makes logical sense. It's not like I said anything outlandish here. I didn't say David Morrell's gonna grow wings out his back and do a flying Superman punch, did I? I think it's really hard to go with Benavidez in this fight. I'm the type of guy, I don't care. It's a simple prediction. I don't care. I'm not saying Morrell's going to steamroll him. I'm not saying Benavidez is going to steamroll him. I'm going with Morrell. I'm heavily favoring David Morrell in this fight. I got to be honest with you guys. Now, I don't want guys to be like, Jerry, if Benavidez goes in there and does, you know, stay on that side. Don't switch up, Jerry. You're going to be wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm here for the greatness of the sport. Prove me wrong. Beat Morrell. Beat Canelo. Beat Benavidez. Beat Bivol. Do it. And I'll be your biggest fan. That's who I am. You don't have to be a certain complexion. You don't have to be of a certain religion. You don't have to fight in a certain weight class. You be great, I'm going to be your fan. So I'm here for Benavidez because he is trying to be great. He is a young lion, and he is great for the sport of boxing. He is bringing a lot of Hispanic, fans to the sport. He is bringing a lot of Mexican-American fans to the sport, which are arguably the most important fans in America right now. So I'm here for Benavidez. But with all that being said, Morrell's the superior boxer. Morrell can take a punch. He can give a punch. He doesn't need 15 punches to get going. He needs 2. He needs 3. He's able to move out of range. He's able to circle. He is a southpaw. That's a big part of it as well. I don't know how Benavidez does against a southpaw. I love David Benavidez, that is. I love David Morrell. I hope this fight doesn't get canceled for whatever is going on behind the scenes. But if it was up to me, and I had to put hard, cold cash on it, which I am, I'm going to put $3,000 on David Morrell. That's just where I'm at. I'm going to put $1,000 on him stopping Benavidez, $3,000 on him on the money line. That's just where I'm at. I hope it's going to be a great bout. I hope there's no robberies. I hope nobody gets injured. I hope nobody takes any, career devastating injuries inside the ring. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take David Morrell. You guys let me know how y'all feel about this fight coming up on February 1st in Las Vegas. Who do y'all have, David Benavidez or David Morrell?